innovation showcase with Dr. Shalon's Maternal Action Project, Miss Wanda Irving and her team for believing. And they have this wonderful tool for peer support, which is going to be it's going to be improving experiences for pregnant women. Bianca Pryor.
Thanks, Pallavi. Awesome. Let me just share my screen real quick. Can you all see that?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Please
Okay.
go ahead.
Excellent. All right. So warm greetings, mommies, fellow innovators, as well as medical care providers. We're so excited to share space this afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you're dialing in from. I'm Bianca, the co-founder of Believe Her app. We're backed by Dr. Shalon's Maternal Action Project and our tech development partner, iRelate. I'm going to talk to you, tell you a story about trusting yourself, mommies. That's me in a camel-colored coat back in 2002 as a young graduate student at Purdue University in West Lafayette, Indiana. I'm surrounded by my beautiful and brilliant girlfriends. From left to right, that's Laurel, the one in the orange sweater, that's Shalon Irving, me, and Adriana. At 22 years old, I'm still refining that sense of me, trusting myself, learning myself. But let me tell you, that little lady in the orange sweater, Shalon, she knew herself. She knew how to push back. She knew how to advocate for herself. She didn't have a problem voicing her opinions. I learned so much from my friend. And over the years, we became closer. I ended up graduating with my master's from Purdue in consumer behavior, started to climb the corporate ladder. Shalon, she stayed back to pursue a dual PhD in gerontology and sociology. But this picture you actually see, this is Shalon in the middle, bedecked in her cap and gown with her mom, Wanda, to the right. This is actually a woman trying to figure out her path. Is she going to be a professor? Is she going to go on to the CDC? But if you look at our eyes, there's a bit of sadness. Shalon was also dealing with caregiving for her brother who had MS. I was also dealing with my younger sister who had a recent cancer diagnosis. Two young women figuring out where we were supposed to be in corporate lives, in our work, but also caregiving for people that we love very much. Life was hard, but the rainbows and unicorns soon came, and we became mothers at the same time. We had our own paths. In this picture, what you're seeing is Shalon and I, both pregnant, joyous, the happiest time of our lives. Shalon in that picture was about 14 to 16 weeks pregnant. I was trailing behind her, 4 to 6 weeks pregnant. We were in Tybee Island having our best friend's baby moon. It was a beautiful time. This is me and Shalon. I flew down to Atlanta for her baby shower. She was 30 weeks pregnant. I was 20 weeks pregnant. But what I didn't know, that the odds were stacked against me. As a Black woman, 36 years old, I soon gave birth to my son at 24 weeks. I didn't know. 36 years old, classified as advanced mother age. And according to the CDC, Black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die during or after childbirth. Had no clue. December 15th, 2016, I gave birth through emergency C-section to my son, Everton. He was 1 pound, 10 ounces. That's me holding his hand. The plan, our roadmap, was about a good 3 months for him to be in the NICU. It was a tough time, right? Shalon and I used to laugh all the time. Well, we didn't plan this well, friend. She couldn't come visit me. I couldn't see her. She had a scheduled C-section, January 3rd, 2017, and gave birth to her beautiful 6-pound baby daughter, Soleil. That's her there. What we didn't know is Shalon started to experience complications, high blood pressure, pain, swollen legs. Her incision wasn't healing. Again, we were not aware of the statistics. And I go back to the point that my friend was very savvy. Shalon knew how to advocate for herself. She always has. This is an actual text between us, January 24th, 2017. Shalon was feeling continued pain, headaches, blood pressure high. Her legs were swelling. She was not losing weight. She says, "Hey, friend, I'm at the doctor's again. My blood pressure is up and legs are swollen. I'm waiting to have an ultrasound on my legs to make sure it's nothing serious. I am so sick of doctors." She had pushed back. She had pushed back on the system, pushed back on her medical care providers, and they did not believe her. They did not hear her. 4 days later, Shalon passed away from complications. That's me, crying after a very long night, holding her baby, Soleil. My baby was in the NICU back in New York City. Wanda and I came together to try and figure out, how do we cobble together our lives and go forward? How do we do that? She's 60 plus, raising a grandchild. I'm in New York with my son and my family. How do we do this? We're still figuring out, to be honest. But during the difficult moments, we try and sprinkle in the good. We bring the kids together for vacations as much as we can. And to the right there, as you can see in COVID times, virtual sometimes has to do and make it work. So all of this pain, it's been going on 5 years. There's still a lot of sadness, but what Wanda and I have done is come together to put together a 501c3 called Dr. Shalon's Maternal Action Project. And our mission is to really fight for the equity, especially of Black mothers. But during COVID last year, we realized that, yes, we have a tremendous story to share, but there's also more that we can do. So we decided to develop an app in partnership with iRelate. Jeff, our co-partner, will share a little bit more in a second. But how do we help support mothers, their mental well-being as well as their physical well-being? How do we help them on that journey? How do we give them a space, a community to share their experiences, normalize, pushback that they might get and the stigma and shame? So that's the Believe Her app that we've developed. And I'm going to turn it over to Jeff to walk us through a live demo and share a bit more about it.
Thanks, Bianca. Hello, everybody. I'm Jeff Dorchester. I'm the co-founder of iRelate, and we are the technology partner behind Believe Her. So I'm going to share my screen and give you guys a look at the app that we've created to help the Black birthing community. So here is the Believe Her app. What we've done is we've made a safe place for Black birthing people and survivors to come together and be able to share their story in an anonymous fashion, where there is no stigma behind conversations that are happening within the app. We allow people to come in here and share stories around mental health issues, around physical health issues, around the journey of becoming a mom and the journey after. So we have postpartum things, and we also have areas for family members and friends who have lost loved ones. So this app allows people to come in and find their own path to be able to help others and help heal themselves through various things. So as you can see, we have different rooms that are topics of conversation, and those things might be around just general items or systemic racism or a guiding light or things like postpartum. It's very important for communities to come together and actually have a safe place to tell their story, or even go in here and find out if their journey of becoming a mother is taking the wrong turn, and ask a community how to get through something. How can you avoid the pitfalls and the issues in today's medical world that are impacting the Black birthing community in a negative way. We, just like many other apps, we allow people to become friends with one another. And we also allow people to create groups. And so you can have sidebar conversations with like-minded individuals that you find in the app. One thing that we're really working on now is we're trying to bring in a lot of third-party resources from respected areas like the CDC and so forth, where we can make sure that users are able to get in front of information a lot more quickly. And we're really proud to also say that soon, hopefully in the next week or so, we'll be launching a new version of this app with a whole new user interface, as well as artificial intelligence that will start to link these third-party resources into real live chats that are happening within the app. We also have escalation ways in case somebody is struggling and needs to speak with a clinician, for instance. We can partner with True Circle, which allows about 5,500 clinicians nationwide to be connected with our users within a number of minutes. And luckily, about 98% of these clinicians are Black as well. So it's a wonderful spot to make sure that we can get people the help they need in case there is a crisis escalation. Because our app does focus on a non-clinical fashion of connecting peers, like-minded individuals who've been there and done that and shared the same journey. So that's the quick little run through of Believe Her. We're growing the app and expanding our user base, and can't wait to see the wonderful impact we can have on the community.
Thank you so much, Jeff and Bianca. That was a great presentation. I'm here also with Nikki Dawkins today, who is a full circle doula. She's a member of the national founder of WerkItMoms.com. And as a doula for the past 5 years and a mother herself, Nikki is well aware of what moms face on the journey to motherhood and what is needed for healthy birth outcomes. Welcome, Nikki. Can you tell us a little about the National Doula Network and WerkItMoms.com? I love that name. Love saying Work It Mom. So.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for having me today. I just want to say you guys have such wonderful ideas, and it's so great to hear all of this as a doula, because I always feel like we are that missing link that nobody comes to this stuff. So it's really great to be here. But my name is Nicky Dawkins. I am a reproductive health doula, full spectrum doula, full circle doula. From fertility all the way through to postpartum and everything in between, including pregnancy and infant loss and perinatal mental health, which is the main things that we want to talk about today. I also work with the National Doula Network, which is a organization that provides insurance-covered doulas for mothers on Medicaid who are in need of having support at their birth. And Work It Moms is my community and doula service for BIPOC moms and mompreneurs who are trying to balance pregnancy and motherhood with entrepreneurship and going back to work. So that is me in a nutshell. Sorry if that was a lot.
Thank you. Nikki, what type of clients do you work with, and how could Believe Her be a valuable resource for them?
Well, I mean, like I said, I work with clients all the way from fertility to postpartum. And personally, I feel like Believe Her could benefit all the way across the board with this. The journey to motherhood is so different for everyone. And there's so many obstacles that people have to go through or have to overcome, whether that's trying to get pregnant, whether that's dealing with a loss, or whether that's dealing with the, the unexpected things that come with post health. So to me, I feel like this is really something that has been needed for a very long time. And most importantly, because the anonymity of the space and being able to not necessarily have to reveal yourself. Because I find as doulas, we tend to get much more up close and personal with our clients than anyone else on their birth team, even their midwives or their OBs, and sometimes even their family members. So whenever they do have issues in coming to talk to us, it's really important that we have a place that we can refer them to and a community that they can go and feel safe in. And I also think it's important to push it for the moms who just don't feel comfortable speaking up. I am that type of mom. I do not like to ask people for help. Take a place to somebody who doesn't feel comfortable just talking to anyone. And I find in the space we're in now with COVID, this is extra important. A lot of my moms are more isolated than before. They're experiencing not just postpartum issues, but a lot of issues during the pregnancy. A lot of moms are going through their pregnancy and experiencing losses in their families because of COVID or things going on. They're experiencing a lot of stress because of the racial tensions, because of the new laws coming into place, because of everything going on in the world right now. It puts a lot of pressure on them. And a lot of them are experiencing depression and anxiety while pregnant, which affects your birth outcome as well. and your postpartum experience. So I think introducing them to an app like Believe Her before those problems is actually a great idea. And I'm really happy to be a part of this team now. And I am excited to see what this app can do for doulas and other birth workers in the future. And honestly, all of the apps that you guys have talked about today are so wonderful, and I'm very excited. I think you're on mute, Wanda. I cannot hear you. Sorry.
Bianca mentioned that the app does address both the mental and physical aspects that Black women or birthing people go through. We know how important it is for both of those to be healthy. So how can address the mental health stigma that your clients face? And it's that stigma that contributes to health inequities.
Like to tell my moms the best way to help get rid of the stigma and make things more open is to just admit that you are not okay. When someone asks you that, it's okay to be like, actually, no. And it's okay to maybe ask people for things that might make them feel uncomfortable or might make you feel uncomfortable asking, but you need, especially after you're having a baby. I know a lot of my moms, they have the baby Pico Mobile and they want to hold the baby. And I'm like, you know what? You can tell people, I want to hold and bond my baby. Can you please make me some food or do the dishes? Or go play with the kids. It's okay to ask for those things. So I think that we just have to normalize putting ourselves first as moms. Society has we do everything for everyone, and we continue to add things to our plate, and we never take anything off. And we kind of have to start learning to clean the plate first and then add more stuff to it. So I think just talking about it, spreading the news about apps like this in general, just putting it out there, I think is a great way for us to smash the stigma around maternal mental health. And just letting everyone know that it is normal. It is normal to have these feelings, and you are not alone, which is the number one thing moms need to hear is you are not the only one. You just have to speak up and ask. And if you can't do that with your doula or somebody like that, then this app is perfect. You can reach out anonymously and feel comfortable. I think you're muted again, Wanda.
Thank you so much, Nikki, for joining us today and sharing your time and your expertise with us. I just want to close that by saying if you're a mother in search of peer-to-peer support, please download the app and use it. It's available free at the Apple Store or on Google Play. And if you're interested in supporting the Believe Her app, either as a donor, sponsor, or room ambassador, please contact us at Dr. Shalon's MAP, which is www.drshalonsmap.org. Thank you.